In this video, we are going to talk about adjusting your study plan when life happens. You may create a thoughtful study schedule with specific days, times, and goals. Then something unexpected happens. You're asked to work an extra shift. A child or family member needs your attention. Another assignment takes much longer than expected. You do not feel well. Your transportation changes. You have a difficult or exhausting day. Or you begin studying and realize that one math topic needs much more time than you planned. When this happens, it can be tempting to think my whole plan is ruined. You might feel behind, discouraged, or guilty. Sometimes missing one study session turns into avoiding the plan completely because it no longer feels possible to catch up. But here's the most important idea from this video. Changing your study plan is not the same as failing. A good study plan is supposed to help you. It's not supposed to punish you when your life changes. Plans are based on the information you have at the time. When your situation changes, the plan may need to change too. Being able to adjust is a strength. Let's talk about what to do when you miss a study session. The first step is to pause without judging yourself. Instead of saying, I messed everything up, try saying, the original plan no longer fits. What is the next useful step? That question moves you away from guilt and toward problem solving. You do not need to restart the entire plan. You do not need to fit every missed task into the next day. You need to look at the time you have left and make a new decision. Begin by asking 4 questions. How much time is left before the exam? Which topics are the most important? Which topics need the most attention? What study time do I realistically have now? These questions will help you revise the plan. One useful strategy is to sort your plan task into 4 categories. Keep, move, shorten, remove. Let's look at each one. Keep the tasks that are essential. These might include reviewing a major exam topic, completing independent practice, asking a critical question, or redoing a problem you know you struggled with. Move tasks that are important but can happen at a different time. For example, perhaps you plan to review formulas on Tuesday, but you can move that task to Thursday. Shorten tasks that can still be useful in a smaller form. Maybe you plan to complete 15 practice problems, but now you have time only for 5 carefully selected problems. 5 focus problems are better than doing none because you cannot complete all 15. Remove tasks that are repetitive, less important, or no longer realistic. For example, you may not need to recopy all your notes or review every easy homework problem. Removing a task is not giving up. It is prioritizing. Let's imagine that you created a 5-day study plan. On Monday, you plan to list the exam topics. On Tuesday, you plan to review equations. On Wednesday, you plan to study graphing. On Thursday, you plan to attend tutoring. And on Friday, you plan to complete a practice exam. But it turns out you were unable to study on Tuesday or Wednesday. Instead of trying to complete 3 days of work on Thursday, revise the plan. You might keep the tutoring session. Before tutoring, spend 15 minutes identifying your most important questions about equations and graphing. After tutoring, complete 2 practice problems from each topic. On Friday, shorten the practice exam and complete 6 mixed problems instead of a full-length review. This new plan may not include everything from the original plan, but it still prepares you in a focused and realistic way. Another helpful strategy is to create a minimum study plan. Your minimum plan is the smallest version of your study routine that still helps you make progress. This is especially useful during a difficult or unusually busy week. Your ideal study session might be 45 minutes. Your minimum study session might be 10 or 15 minutes. During that shorter session, you could check the course page, review one example, complete 2 practice problems, redo 1 missed problem, write down 1 question, review 1 formula, watch part of a video and pause to try a step. A small study session still counts. Sometimes students think if I cannot study for an hour, there is no point in starting. But 15 focused minutes can help you stay connected to the material. It can also make it easier to return to studying later because you have not completely lost your place. Your minimum plan might include 3 essential actions. Know what is on the exam, practice the most important topics, ask for help with one major area of confusion. Anything beyond that is helpful, but these 3 actions give you a strong starting point. You can also create a busy day menu of short study tasks. For example, if I have 5 minutes, I will review my topic list or formula sheet. If I have 10 minutes, I will redo 1 missed problem. If I have 20 minutes, I will practice 1 topic without notes. If I have 30 minutes, I will complete a mixed practice set and check my work. This helps you use the time you actually have instead of waiting for the perfect study period. Now, what if your plan changes because the material is more difficult than expected? That is also normal. A study plan is partly a prediction. You are estimating how long topics will take before you have fully studied them. You may plan 30 minutes for a topic and discover that you need an hour. Or you may realize that an earlier skill, such as fractions or negative numbers, is making the new topic harder. When that happens, adjust the plan based on what you are learning. Ask, is this topic a major part of the exam? Does it connect to several other topics? Can I make progress on my own, or do I need help? Would reviewing an earlier skill make this easier? You may decide to spend more time on that topic and less time on material you already understand. This is exactly what a useful study plan should allow you to do. Now, let's talk about priorities. When your time is limited, you may not be able to review everything equally. Begin with the topics that are likely to be important on the exam. Look at the study guide, the course objectives, recent assignments, and your instructor's directions. Next, focus on topics where you are close to understanding. These are our yellow topics. You understand part of the process, but need more practice. A little focus work can often make a big difference in these areas. Then identify 1 or 2 red topics where you need help. Do not spend an entire evening staring at a problem you do not know how to begin. Write down a specific question and reach out to your instructor, a tutor, or another support resource. A useful question might be, I understand how to begin this type of problem, but I get stuck when the variable appears on both sides. Can you help me understand that step? Specific questions make it easier for someone to help you. Communication is especially important when a serious situation is affecting your course. If you are dealing with an illness, family emergency, work change, technology problems, or another major challenge, consider contacting your instructor as early as possible. You do not have to share every personal detail. You might say, I'm dealing with an unexpected situation that has disrupted my study schedule. I'm working to catch up. Could you help me identify the most important material to focus on before the exam? Your instructor may be able to clarify priorities, point you toward resources, or explain available options. Waiting until you are completely overwhelmed can make it harder to recover. Reaching out early gives you more choices. Now, what if you simply did not follow the plan? Maybe there was no emergency. You procrastinated, became distracted, or avoided studying because you felt anxious. You still do not need to insult or punish yourself. Be honest about what happened, but focus on what you can do now. Ask, what made it hard to begin? Was the task too vague? Did I plan too much? Was I afraid of discovering that I did not understand the material? Was the study time unrealistic? What can I change to make studying easier? Maybe your original task was study chapters 3 through 6. That is overwhelming. A better task might be at 6:30, complete 3 equation problems at the kitchen table. Make the next action small and specific. You can restart a study plan at any time. You do not need to wait until tomorrow, Monday, or the beginning of a new week. You can begin with the next 10 minutes. Here is a simple reset process. First, look at the exam date. Second, list the time you still have available. Third, choose the 3 most important tasks. Fourth, schedule the first task. Fifth, begin with a small action. For example, my exam is Friday. I have 30 minutes tonight, 1 hour tomorrow, and 30 minutes on Thursday. My priorities are equations, graphing, and redoing quiz 2 since I did not do well on that. Tonight, I will try 4 equation problems and write down questions. Tomorrow, I will take those questions to tutoring and practice graphing. Thursday, I will redo quiz 2 without notes. This is a revised study plan. It may not be your original plan, but it is useful, realistic, and focused. Here is your action step. Look at your current study plan or create one if you don't have one yet. Ask whether it still fits your life. If it doesn't, choose one task to keep, one to shorten or move, and one task you can complete next. Write the revised task in specific language. Instead of writing catch up on math, write complete 3 problems from section 4.2 tonight at 7 o'clock. Remember, flexibility is not a weakness. Successful students do not always follow a perfect plan. They notice when something is not working, make an adjustment, and continue. Life will not always cooperate with your schedule. You may have difficult weeks. You may fall behind. You may need to begin again. None of that means you cannot succeed. Adjust the plan, choose the next step, ask for support, then keep moving forward. You've got this.